Hi there. Hi. This is Steve from Expert on All Legal Matters. When I started all this off all these years ago, my uncle, very, very intelligent man, told me that there was two systems, one side by side, one private, one legal statutes and acts. There was an illusion of law. Absolutely. Right. So, for me, doing all this and learning over 30 years, and with one condition on getting taught all this, that I would be able to do this the way I wanted to do it from the start, with a new case ever come forward. And we're in the process of doing that now through the Crown Court down in Kent. They've never seen this paperwork before ever. Not once. They've never seen it. Once in Manchester, and they got rid of all the documentation evidence. Straight through. Which is still on an ongoing investigation, I might add. Good luck with that one. I think the whole country's up for investigation. It's going to take them years to get through it all, if not thousands of years. But hey ho, we'll play the game. It's all it is a game, a business transaction. This has never been easy, and to the majority of men and women out there who don't really understand the standings, it gets you into a lot of trouble very, very quickly. But there is things put there to safeguard you if done right, and you do the research and understand the standings, and even legal, you still got certain obligations and certain rules to protect your assets if done right. If done right. And I'm not here to diss anybody. I won't diss anybody at all. Everybody's entitled to walk their own path. Yeah. I am obligated to do the path I'm doing. It's what I was brought forward for. It's what I signed up to. And I swore an oath on it that I would do it exactly the way I was taught to do it, with one stipulation that when I hit the system, I then took control of it, which I've done. As simple as, and that's it, simple. And that's all to do with everything that I've been doing. Now, good luck with everybody. It's really fighting a good fight, and waking up and seeing this for what it really is, because it is nothing but a contract. This is all this has ever been, a contract, or a hijack as I call it. And there is decent men and women out there in these establishments who actually don't even understand any of this. They're just doing a job. We can't really blame them really, because they're all compromised, and they're all stuck together. They don't know what the next one's doing next to them, so they've only got their own little unit to deal with. Now, that is a skeleton argument. It's about 10 pages long. And that is sitting right now at the top. Right at the top. And they don't like what they see, because they can't answer it. They can't even return on it. They're not allowed to. And that's just a skeleton argument. And inside that, there's two things: the birth certificate and the trust, a valid trust under ecclesiastical canons. Now, yes, to get all this done, it costs a bit of money, and I've always said, if you can do this yourself, by all means, crack on and do this yourself, and do it, but make sure you bloody do it right, because you only get one invitation to the Pope, and that's the rules of this. It's their rules, it's not my rules. I've just been shown how to do it, that's all. There's nothing I can say about that. Many people try and get a trust for whatever reasons. It's all to do with trust and honour and obligation and knowing your standings. Don't get into something that you don't know what you're getting into, ever. If you don't know your standings from the offset and who you are from the start, then a valid trust was no good to you. And seriously, because it's a whole new kettle of fish. It's a whole big monster on its own. You really need to understand the standings, who and what you are, what agents you can use, beneficiaries you can use, trustees, minister. These are all valid things inside a will and testament. And it's your will and testament. And that just starts that off. Then you will have to do a new will and testament inside your manor rule book, which would be part of the Genesis. And that's how you update or take things in and out of your existing will and testament. You never ever redact anything on paper. You never ever score anything. You never touch it. That is now null and void. You always have to have it witnessed up. Everything has got to be witnessed. Now, when we started doing this, way back in the day, way back in the day when we started doing this, but more so recently in the 80s when we started doing the corporation, Maggie Thatcher, really, to be fair, everything went private. And then everything was going really well till 2008 when everyone went bankrupt with Northern Rock, and that's what completely killed everything, because there was that much debt that the government had to step in then, and then that's when everything reversed and did what it did, and everything went private, including all corporations. We're on Duns and Bradstreet on the website, so you know this. And I just wanted to show you that they are still all trading as corporations, but that's not a bad thing or a good thing. It all depends on your standards and how you approach this argument. Now, registration of anything. You have always got consent. It's your consent. You are entitled to have full disclosure on everything you do, no matter what it is. The man or the woman is not allowed to be impeached upon. That's the rules to this. And through generations in time, the corporations have fleeced every man, woman and child out there. Because you're all dead, lost at sea, delinquents and wards of the state. And I don't say it lightly either, I really don't. Now I'm getting older, yeah, and I am teaching people this. And yes, the trust that I do, they're all getting this. They're getting to understand the standings and they're seeing it for what it really is. And my hat and my heart goes out to every single one of them. Especially Helen, Hadrian, I could list them all, Simon, Lucy, I could, Ian, two Ians, you know what I mean, Peter, lots and lots and lots of them, James, everybody. I can name loads, Peter all day in the trust, because they understand that the only way they can protect their assets is to stick everything inside a trust and make sure they have trustees and beneficiaries, because they've only got beneficial title to it. Because you don't own it, you're merely looking after it while you're here, because you can't take it with you when you're dead. That's simple, that's the rules. Now, as of 1302, the Unum Sanctum kicked in. And yeah, I've heard loads of people talk about Magna Carta and previous kings and queens, and yeah, I've heard it all. I've done the research and I've got all the evidence. But sadly, guys, still as 1302, it says quite clearly that the Unum Sanctum's never been redacted. Show me a piece of paper that says it's been redacted. It's never once been redacted. And they are the biggest corporation on the planet. Why? They hold something that holds dear to you, alive on record. Yours. And they're the trustees of it. So, the other families that got involved were very quick, especially the Queen, actually, to be fair. The kings and queens back in the day realised that they had to put certain things in place so they could interact with this invisible trust. The world trust, as I call it. So they can make things. So they all put you into slavery, basically, and gave you a registration, a birth register, certificate of a birth, which is now, it binds you to that corporation. It's not owned by the Queen. She doesn't own the man or the woman on the paperwork. What she owns is the paper itself and the writing, which is copyrighted and letter patent. And it's traded through Her Majesty's Station Officer, the controller, which can be brought forward under the Documentary Evidence Act anywhere in any courtroom to explain this. And they're not allowed to talk about it, not even judges are allowed to talk about this. So it's quite interesting for an argument if you have everything backed up in a skeleton argument, if you ever go through these court systems, which they don't like me coming into court. They hate it, especially when you see the paperwork. That's because I spent 30 years learning this and getting taught it and bashing my head up against the wall and go through bits and ripping it apart, redoing it, ripping it apart, redoing it, ripping it apart, until it was flawless, absolutely flawless. Now, you can do a legal trust. There's plenty of illegal trusts out there. I'm not one saying you can't do one. I personally, and I recommend nobody ever do one because it is theirs. It's not yours. And that's the frightening thing. A lot of people think, yeah, but there's rules there. As seen by every system through time, they can bend and break their rules as and when they want to. Let's look at the banking system at this moment. Just like the euro at this moment, shall we go on? There's that much fraud, police corruption, court corruption, trustees corruption, NHS corruption. There's corruption everywhere. Yes, and yes, they are all getting investigated, but like anything, the police are short-funded, they've got no money, and they've still all got to get the money from the Treasury. And the Treasury is part of this problem that sits up and props up the banking system because it's business. Nothing personal, just business. And you guys vote them in there. You absolutely vote them there. Every one of you have ever registered and ever done the registration of the electoral roll. Went down and put your ticket in and said, I'll have him, I'll have that. Nah, can't see what they've done to you. Frightening, really. Absolutely frightening. And yet they're all attached to something called a birth certificate, which is the one system that you all think you live under. Sadly, there is two systems. One's called the maxims of law under ecclesiastical and trust law. God's law, or the divine creators as you call it. And he has one rule: injury, loss, and harm. That's it. Simple ones. And to work the balance in nature. And that's it. And always to give, then you will receive tenfold. Because this has nothing to do with egos or who's better than who. It's got nothing to do with this. I could care less. I just want to make sure you're all happy and everybody's doing what they're supposed to do. Yes, and I'm a bit abrupt and a bit annoying, and I can come across as right in their face. Well, yeah, of course I can, because I've been taught how to do that. Because I've got to do it through their system. So you give me some allowance, give me some allowances. I listen to everything and everybody. But like the Vatican have always said, they hold the man over all creature and man for a reason. Because your delinquents lost at sea, lords of estates, and dead. Your children, basically. And in their eyes, you'll always be a child when you do certain things. You understand what this is all about. Never one said it's right. Never one said I agree with any of this. I don't actually. I was quite annoyed about it when I started all this off. But you can feel this is not right. And then it changes. There is a change. We're in the year of the Pisces, moving on to Aquarius in another 100 odd years. And it'll be a new system yet again. It'll be like one religion for everybody. Well, if they get what they want to do. If they get what they want to do, one world government, one world everything. Apart from the 1% that are in a private estate, trusts. They can't be touched the minute they come through the gates because it is a private estate. And that is it simple. Well, every time you do interaction on this plane as a corporation, because you're a corporation soul and a birth certificate, you are an agent. That's what you are. That is what it is. Agent. You're an agent. You're not a man. You're not a woman. And you're definitely dead when you walk into that courtroom. Okay? Because they'll listen to you. So understand that. So an agent is so good fun to work with if you want to work with it and do it right. Because an agent is your interaction to that fictitious birth certificate / corporations of common law of obligation. And that's what that is. which has been going on for hundreds and hundreds of years and thousands of years, really. Just change it every now and again. And do the research. There's plenty of stuff now that you've got on the internet. You're on the dark web now, still do the research and look at footage and look at all that transcripts and things. You can find it if you take the time, the effort. Put the time in, work hard, know who you are. So that agent is their ticket to get legal John Doe with you. And it's an interesting way to do it, because the man or woman of that corporation will never ever come to your house or do that. They will always send it off to somebody else in that corporation to send that out, because under the law, the real law, if you've not consented to something, it's all by consent, then you've been injured. Just on that definition alone, if something's upset you and come to your house, it's an injury. So there you go. There's the rules. It's quite simple. So they never tell anybody what's going on here, because at the end of the day, they are liable to the higher courtrooms. Now, if you've ever been in London, the city of London, and it's the Mile Square, or the Mile Triangle as I like to call it, and inside that you'll have three big buildings pretty close to each other. One of them is red. And you'll understand that if you ever go down there, that they're all different jurisdictions. And right at the heart of it, which is the Strand, is the Royal Courts of Justice, which is back in the day was the Lord Chancellor's. That was what it was back in the day. But it all changed now to the Queen's Bench, as they call it. We'll play along with that one. Queen's Bench. Now inside the Queen's Bench, the Strand, Fetter Lane, they have many, many floors. But there's one floor there that none of you actually get entranced into, ever. Unless you're in a valid ecclesiastical trust, which is the Vatican's area of expertise. Now, don't take my word for it, go and check it out. You will find out there is an ecclesiastical trust court there, and it deals solely with ecclesiastical matters pertaining to the way everything's run by the Pope under ecclesiastical and the canon laws. Simple. So yeah, go do the research. So for all you men and women there that actually head out to this big building, if you don't have a valid trust, then you're going to have some sort of argument here. It's going to be hard for you to get some sort of remedy unless your paperwork is absolutely flawless. Does that make sense? And you have all the evidence, and even then it's still a contract, it's still a business transaction. So it's an interesting argument. They should give leeway and let you actually win this, but as it's shown repeatedly through time, out of thousands that go to the Rolls building, only a handful ever get a remedy, because they can't afford all this fraud to come forward. Now let's flip on the other side, same building, ecclesiastical. Now, we're waiting to go there yet. We're waiting actually to go to this building. Paperwork's in, skeleton arguments in, we're all sitting waiting. And the minute we actually go back into the courtroom, it gives us our entrance to go straight. If we ever go back into the Crown Court, it gives us our entrance to go straight to the Rolls building, to the ecclesiastical court. And the powers that be, the magistrates and all these Masonic lodges / councils / whatever you want to call them, know this. And they know it really, really well. Because they thought they were in one system, and now they impeached upon a complete different system. And now they've just been shown two systems. And this is where it gets interesting. This is where it always has been. This is what I wanted to show everybody. And it's why it's on the website. It's a true account, I'm not lying about it, it's all there. And this just shows you the real fraud, because like I said, it's on there and everybody can see it for themselves. I don't need to talk about it, it's there. Show me somebody else has got theirs up like that from the start. And it is there. It is two Crown Court sittings, no direction, and then they asked us to put a skeleton argument, which I have done, because the minute I did do it, and I knew I did it when it happened, I put it in with everything was stopped dead, and it has stopped. Now they've spoke to the best legal experts on the planet. I know this. And there is no remedy for them. They can't even recourse it, never mind get a remedy for it. So by definition alone, either way we win. Whether we never get any money from them and a counterclaim against them, it's not money, it's a remedy for the injustice of course to the family. Or they leave us alone because they can't impeach in any. They're not allowed to do either because everything's been done right, the way it's supposed to be done. And this takes a lot of time. I mean, if you was to understand the rules to this and the time it takes to actually do this right, it took me 30 years to get to flawless. So come on guys, walk with me a little bit. You've got to walk with me a little bit on this one. Yeah? Just walk with me a little bit on that one. I just wanted to show you that if you get your house in order, be true to the heart, know who you are for the offset, know what your obligations are under oath, witnessed as well, and no man or woman can claim against your estate if you've done no injury, loss or harm. Absolutely spot on, correct. That is it. You choose to live your way inside your private estate. Whether it's right or wrong, that's entirely down to you. But if you're not doing any injury, loss or harm, and you're working with balance in nature, then by definition alone, you're pleasing God or the divine creator. You're the shepherd looking after the land. Because you're entitled to all of the land, basically, equally, every one of these. But the council don't want you seeing that. They don't want you anywhere on that land. Why? Because there's fraud all underneath it. Because they got contracts way back in the day from the government to do the highways and roads and utilities all the way through, and they were told to keep it clean and thingy. And if you dig deep enough, you'll find all the fraud and all the deception. Simple. It's not hard to do this. They're in control of the environment agencies, / every ticket, license you'll ever need to get. You see how it works? It's just a massive tax fiddle con to keep everything spread so you can never see the truth. And because of that, the massive fraud, they try to cover all the land and take it from every man, woman, and child out there. It's quite easy to get rid of this. It's not hard. It's not hard at all. The letter. It all starts with the invitation of the letter. The notice, or invitation, or summons, or whatever it is. It's your gateway for a remedy. Now, to the trust, we know how to do it quite easily. But to use man and woman out there that are just starting this all off, it's not that hard to do. It really isn't. You're entitled to see certain things in law. Which under the legals is the Bills of Exchange Act, the Theft Act, the Larceny Act, corporate law, company law. These are all valid instruments that they're dealing business with you because you already know they're a corporation. So once you put that on paper and ask for that, it's not hard for them. It's not hard for the courtroom to actually what you've just done here. They can't rebut it because that's you've not lied on paper. This is what they want you to do. They want you to lie on a piece of paper because that's their entrance to call you a delinquent. Do you understand what I'm saying? So if your paperwork's not flawless, then you're going to get killed. It's simple as. They don't look around. Now, if your paperwork's right, and the judge breaks his oath, and you tell him you're putting him on top of misdemeanors, don't be frightened to do it. And then walk downstairs, pay the 250 quid and do an N244 for it. For the Royal Courts of the Royal Courts buildings, yeah? Royal Court of Justice. Tort of misdemeanors against judge, case number, They failed to bring in evidence that was crucial to the case. It's simple, straightforward. It's now logged the system. Instantly log that system. There's no getting around it. Then you've got other things then. So when that gets to the Royal Courts of Building, you can then put up what's called a skeleton argument, which is these things. Skeleton argument. And in that you would put casement files, electronic casement, document files. The man or woman put the claim against the estate, you're entitled to see your accuser face to face. That is the law, by the way. You're entitled to have jurors. Well with them. And you're allowed to pick 6 of them that have to your standard and your beliefs. So that's the rules to all this. That is the rules. There's no getting around it. Yeah? And the only way it's going to change is if you do it right. Yeah, there's loads of you doing this, but you're not all doing it right. That's the problem. That is always a big problem. Now, I've been told not to give the masses all my stuff, and because you're not ready for it. And so I do apologise, and I'm going to say it as it is. Because you're all still looking for a quick fix. Because the only man or woman that gets himself into that mess is you. For whatever reason. I didn't say once it was right, I didn't say once it was wrong. It's just, it's what it is, simple as. It's what it is. Yeah? Now, just, I've always said it, when you get something, come outside the box and see it as what it really is, an invitation to something. You're ready for a recourse here. So, play the game properly. A lot of people return to sender, no contract. You can do that, there's no problem doing that. They're not going to like it, but eventually they'll come for you. As past shows, this is how they do it. This is because you're a delinquent now, you've not answered or put some sort of remedy in here or recourse. I've got a lot of time for anybody that actually has put some skill and some knowledge and some training into this and actually did the hard work, the effort, and really push for this and understands this to get rejected. I have a lot of respect for them because it's not easy. I've done this for 30 years and use a track to learn this over a 30-year period and crack 5 minutes. It's never going to happen. Never in a million years. And I've only showed you a fraction of the stuff. For a bloody good reason. You're not ready to see it all. Maybe in time you will be, but we'll see. We will see. Now, I'm not getting any younger. And I've got many things I've got to sort out. Lots of things I've got to sort out. On top of that, I've got ongoing cases, which are big ones, really big ones, which the system don't like because they know they are big ones. So, guys, all I'm asking, not the trust, just the guys that are just the normal men and women, do the research. And there's plenty of it out there, lots of it. But take it with a pinch of salt because there's good advice and there's always bad advice. Because wherever there's a good positive, there's always a negative, correct? So you know this. Go with what you feel is right. And if it's wrong, it's wrong. Hey, you can hold your hand in heart and say, you know what, at least I tried it. Simple as it, at least you tried it. The system don't like what you're doing. You're showing them the flaws. All I've just shown them is the cracks and showed you another wall behind the wall, which is another system, which they don't want you ever to see. And it is a frightening concept when you actually see the two systems side by side because it's funny jumping from one to the other. Because I do this all the time. It's good fun doing it actually. It's great fun. And everybody should be entitled to do it. You should be able to interact with both systems as and when you choose to do it. And as a valid trust, as most of the trustees know and the general executors know, you can have a lot of fun doing this. You can have a lot of fun doing this because you're the man or woman in charge. You're the one that's got all the keys. You hold all the doors for the passes. Simple. Because you know your standings. That's it. Anyway, I just thought I'd get that one out to you. I know I've got loads and loads of stuff here and everybody's going on it and everybody is fighting well and you're all doing your... All contracts have got to be signed by two parties and they've got to have two outside people to witness them, not anybody. So if you went for a loan at a bank or you went for a mortgage at the bank, it'd have to be independent witnesses, not somebody from... Does that now make sense? That's a breach of a contract. The openness and full disclosure has now been breached. The concealment's now been hidden, and the fairness is that's it. It just kills it in the water, guys. That's it. Simple as. That's simple. I've got a lot of respect for everybody that's doing this. Lots and lots of people doing it all over the world. Yeah. And I want you all doing this, and I want everybody. The more people that do this, the better it is. I just want to make sure that you get your stuff in order. Everybody gets their stuff in order. And if you keep banging in the paperwork and doing it right, you stop the system when it's on anyway. Now, the people that I have dealing with the trusts, they don't have any trouble. None of them have any trouble discharging any debt at all. It's simple, it's easy to do. Under the bills of exchange, it's quite simple to do this. That's the legal remedy for a trust if you understand the trust. That's why it's there. Because your agent's discharging it through that agent, that fictitious agent known as the birth certificate. It's not hard to do this. It really is not hard to do it, but it has to be a valid trust, because if it goes through the court system, you have to prove it. And that's why these things are the most important things you will ever have, which are skeleton arguments, will and testaments, manor roll books and works. They've got to be flawless. They have got to be flawless. It changes everything. Everything. And then knowing how to do it will be brilliant. It'll take that stress off you. No, it'll take the stress off you. I don't have any stress. I have stress from others, but that's because that's just life. That is life. It's just the way things. It's just the way it's always going. It's just the way everything goes. John Johnder, I love Johnder. Johnder and jurisdictions in Johnder. Not me. You don't even understand what they are. It's a game. It's absolutely a game. You already know the judges don't have any oaths of offices. You know judges work in a private capacity. The courts work in a private capacity. It's a transaction. The smartest man or woman there is the one that's going to win. It's that simple. But if he's in a trust or she's in a trust, then it's flawless. It's absolutely flawless. Council tax, the biggest con on the planet. Frightening. So simple to get discharged. Gas, liquor, these are all free things that are free. The council have got an obligation to work the land, to look after the land, but not to put charges for the land. Do the research, understand the rules to this. And frightening. Simon Dawson's got that spot on for that side of it. He knows the legals better than most. All I did with Simon was structure him into a trust, so all his assets are protected because he's got beneficiaries and trustees. That's it, simple. Like every other trust I've done out there. Spoke to Charles. Charles was online. Let you hear for a different perspective. And I'm trying to get every one of the trustees to come on eventually through time and do it, because a lot of them don't want to do it because they're shy. The camera's shy. They don't like talking about things, which is a fair comment. Everything is consent. It's a contract. Consent, contract. Consent, contract. Consent, contract. Think about it. And then you have something called a trust on top of that. Trust. Because we're all in a world trust or a plain trust, a big, massive one. And then there's many trusts inside that. And that's just what they're all working off of. Yeah, you never knew you had an estate if anybody's ever been bankrupt, and there's been a few. The first time you'll know you've got an estate is when they put the bankruptcy through and say, Mr. or Mrs. do, surname, and then estate. What the fuck? I've got an estate. You've always had one. Just one you've never seen before. It's clever how they do it. It's frightening. And then you've registered this. That's a scary thing. You've actually signed up to it. Consent, contract, common law of obligations. Consent, contract, registration, obligations of common law. You've signed up to it. You've not redacted it. You've not put your resignation letter in. You've not put your terms and conditions in. Frightening. They do it to you. Why don't you do it back to every one of them? Every single last corporation out there, you're entitled to put your terms and conditions out there because it's your contract on that fictitious entity of an agent of a birth certificate, because it's your agent. Even in the legal land, it's still your agent. So remember that. Yeah, I do apologise. It's the heat. I've got an old computer. It's one of the best computers, but it's an old one. That's why I still hold on to it, and it buffers because of the heat. I've not got the fan running, guys. So I do apologise. It will sort itself out. Anyway, guys, just do the research. Understand your standings. Understand that this is just a paper fraud, because that's all it is, a paper fraud. And as anything, you can't interact with a piece of paper. But that fictitious agent known as a birth certificate can, because you've contracted it by consent, because you've not done the valid things in law to be not dead, not lost at sea, not a delinquent, not a ward of the state. There you go. Simple. It's not hard. It really is not hard. Right, guys, I just thought I'd get this quick one out to you. I've got a lot of things to do today.